In a few hours, The Last of Us Part 2 is premiering tonight. And we're going to go back to the conversation that has been beaten to the ground over and over and over and over and over again. The casting of Ellie. Let's just get right into it. Who's going to start us off?
Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird.
Damn, wait, hold on. Was that
Let's go.
Okay. Because I think we have like two. Do we have 2 or 1 topic surrounding The Last of Us? I think it's 2. One's like game. Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's around. Yeah, let's let the moderator kind of unpack where we are with these topics.
I wanted to make sure
let the moderator moderate.
Come on now.
I was making sure I pulled the right tweet. That's all it was, right?
Shut the fuck up.
So
the
other
topics
day,
around it.
Hold on, let me pull this tweet out here. Okay.
While he's pulling up the tweet,
I got it.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So just on Twitter the last couple of days, I call it dogpiling. There's been a lot of dogpiling happening with Bella Ramsey's character casting as Ellie in The Last of Us 2. People have been like, "Dog, what the fuck is this? Oh my gosh, she can't act." Like just a bunch of weird like conversations surrounding the casting of Ellie.
The acting in that scene was not great. Come on now.
I haven't seen the clip.
We gotta stop this.
I haven't seen the clip.
That's like such a weird
scene
to pull out because I can show you like 10 acting scenes. I'm not gonna do this. You almost got me off.
I'm just saying it was a weird scene. I'm not judging her as an actor. I'm just saying that scene was weird.
Where is this clip? This is a.
You're agreeing.
Can somebody share the clip?
Yeah,
it's in the anime chat. No,
I can share the clip.
No, I'm saying you can share on the meet. Though.
Yeah.
All right, give me.
Kiana, can you pull this up, please? I'm gonna treat Kiana the way that Joe Rogan treats that one.
Oh yeah, Jamie.
Hey Jamie, can you pull this up real quick?
Right.
I'll let Marshawn drop the link.
I'm gonna pull it up, but basically, oh goodness, yeah, people have just been kind of like shitting on her and like what she's been doing, and someone came out and tried to like, I guess, say some things in defense of her, but in my opinion, they went a bit too far. Did I put this in Topic Dropper or where did I put this? The clip.
It's in anime, movies, and TV.
Anime, movies, and TV. I put the clip there. Okay.
That's it. Those 21 seconds is what everyone's bitching about.
It's so stupid.
Also,
Luis.
that is
so
the most
stupid.
Ellie thing to fucking do.
It is.
I'm not hearing this. I watched season 1. She was great in season 1. I literally have a whole season.
She was great in
be like, she's a great Ellie. So I'm not. This conversation is so. It's rage bait.
Yeah, I'm
look at who posted the clip. It was
I
fucking Kira. Listen, I think the fact
let's
that we're talking
Kira.
about
Kira is crazy.
No, I don't agree.
I think the fact that we're
no, not on your life.
I'm bringing up Kira because it's crazy that we are still having conversations about clear rage bait by accounts like Kira that just want the fucking engagement.
Yeah, Kira is trash. I don't support anything Kira does. Kira, if you hear this, quit Twitter.
Quit Twitter.
All right. I'm gonna play
Yellow Opera.
I'm gonna play.
That's a choice.
Sorry.
Hey, opera's great. What's up with opera?
No, I'm saying he's a bit yellow.
If you guys haven't seen the clip,
baby yellow.
The viewers out there.
This
is the clip where Kira says worst acting he's ever seen. Oh my god.
By the way, you know I'm the one we should be least worried about when it comes to infecting.
Hey, and no one can hear.
You swore.
You can't hear it?
No, I can't hear it.
No.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, hold on.
Yeah, you probably got it playing through your headphones.
Yeah, I think your presentation
also, spoilers,
is
I guess, if you care.
It says you can't unmute someone else.
I'll act this shit out. Damn. What's her fucking name?
That's crazy because I know they can. Oh, to share audio, share.
I will say I agree with Tevin. I think this scene it's a little cringe.
All right,
but
it's a little shaky, Warrior.
But I still love this. I still love this character in this performance.
I have it working now. You guys should be able to hear the audio. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Please.
By the way, you know I'm the one we should be least worried about when it comes to infecting.
Hey, no. You swore. We don't talk about that.
I got bit on my arm.
Ellie, we don't talk about that.
I got bit, everybody!
Hey.
I got bit!
Hey!
I'm immune!
Whoa, hey!
Woo!
By the way, you know
Nothing.
That's hard.
A
I ain't gonna lie. I like
nothing
that.
that is
burger.
nothing.
That's hard.
That is a nothing.
I don't know why.
burger,
I don't
bro.
know. I
Who
don't
can
know why
relate? Woo!
Yeah, I don't know why that clip reminded me of the fucking was it Jason Tatum?
Oh.
We
You
did
said,
it!
we did it!
We did it!
And that shit was
Look,
ass.
Look,
so
I think the scene is a bit cringe. It's not like the greatest scene, but like
It's silly.
Luis,
That's all
you
I'm
said,
saying.
That's Ellie.
That's
It's
all
like,
I'm saying.
but
It's-
that
that's-
doesn't mean that the acting
She-
is the worst that
I
he's
do
ever
I
seen.
do have a
No,
question
bullshit.
though.
But,
I
that's-
do
that's
have a
not
question
what I'm agreeing
though.
with.
As a nigga who hasn't seen this shit, I know everybody go like, well, it doesn't matter if she looks like or whatever, and you can say what you want about like her vocal inflection, but I do think that like she didn't really like just devil's advocate, like she didn't really emote well, like with the face of like trying to show that she doesn't really understand, that she doesn't necessarily agree what she's being told with. I do feel like she's like just blank face and then doing it.
Yeah, I think her acting was bad before the scream. It's not just the scream. It's like the
But
first
this
sentence
isn't
she
the
speaks.
clip,
It's not great.
But this
It's not
isn't
great.
this isn't the clip. If this was this
Yeah.
is such a this is
It's
such
not
a
great.
nothing scene. If this was a scene as heavy as
nothing.
like
Sure,
if this
I'm
was a
not.
scene as crazy as like the Dave, what is his name, David in the cannibal guy in season 1, like then we could have a
Bro,
conversation. But this
you
is such a
wanna talk
nothing
about
but
moment.
I'm just.
You wanna
I'm
talk
just
about, you know
agreeing
what I'm saying?
That was
Casting.
that proved
I'm
everything
just
to
saying-
me.
I'm just saying that this particular scene isn't the greatest. I'm not saying she's not a bad. I'm not saying she's a bad actress. I just
Okay.
think this scene is not the greatest scene. That's it.
All right, that's
Let's take where I
That's
wanted to
opinion.
get to with the conversation was someone defending her because she's been getting a lot of shit online based off of how she looks. They don't think that the casting's right because she doesn't look like Ellie. The tweet that we just showed you guys there, trying to say her acting is bad, all of these things, right? Someone in defense of her decided to say that people getting mad at HBO because they don't want to fuck the actress that is playing a traumatized child. This tweet has 277,000
Oh,
likes.
that's
and
what that tweet was about.
I thought that was ridiculous.
What?
I thought
disagree.
That was ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I thought it was
It
fucking
No,
is
that's-
insane.
ridiculous.
No, it's
I
not.
It takes away
Fucking
nuance. It takes
insane.
away nuance from the conversation, I think.
It
I
does,
I,
and
I
it
disagree
make-
with
and
that
it-
because I think like just personally it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody that dislikes that Ellie thinks that way, but it like that is how a lot of people view it. Like they
I don't disagree.
just,
with that.
just like a lot of people are just weird. Like for like a layman's term, I know it's way more than that, but a lot of people have like a lot of those type of ideations. Like they think that way. They really like it's like the level of attractiveness that they have towards the character, and like, oh yeah, she doesn't look like Ellie. That's some of it is just like the fact that it doesn't look like Ellie from the game, definitely. But other parts is like she doesn't look good enough to be the Ellie that I imagine when I'm playing the game. Like that's actually a thing, and I feel like
especially in the gamer space.
yeah, like I feel like to ignore that, especially in this day and age where like
Hey, man.
literally everybody gets there. I forgot her name, but the black actress that's in like every video game now. That's the one that's in Jedi Survive. I mean, you
Yeah,
know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah, I
she,
know
she like the grifters literally are on her because they're like,
I mean, her
bro,
name.
why is she in every game? Like, what does she do? And then like when you get down to
Oh,
the nitty gritty
Deborah.
of it, it's the fact that they
Yeah.
don't find her
Deborah.
attractive. It's like it's
And she's
literally
not
just
even a
simple-
main character.
like
by
she's
the
not
way.
a main, she's a side character in almost everything that she's in. She's doing a great job, but she's not taking away from anything else going on in the story. It's just the fact that you don't find this female in the game attractive, so you have an issue with it. Like that's how a lot of these conversations are to me sometimes. Not saying everybody thinks that way, but when I start seeing certain patterns that you have dealing with this conversation and also dealing with other things that revolve around it, it's like, yeah, you're mad because she's not attracted to you. That's weird. I don't care what you have to say anymore because I know what type of timing that you are specifically on. Like that's just a very weird thing to get mad about because she doesn't look like the girl of your dreams when you imagine Ellie. Like that's weird as fuck to me.
Okay, let me add a little bit more nuance to the conversation. I think Josuke was alluding to earlier, right? I do believe that there are people out there that you describe that look at it that way. Maybe I'm just a bit naive in a way or whatever the case is, but I think for me personally, I remember when I was looking at the casting for Joel and Ellie, like prior to watching that first season, like I was like in here joking around saying like, that's not my Ellie. She doesn't look like Ellie, this, that, and the third. And from where I'm coming from, it had nothing to do with a sexual attraction I had when I was like a teenager watching these games or like whatever the case was. It's just like when you're casting these characters, you kind of look for the first thing is like, does this person look like this character? Now, I think that's a shallow way to look at it. Look, let me just go ahead.
I was gonna say, you make a decent point. The problem is, you were thinking that during season 1, before season 1 came out, which is somewhat valid. But now the show is out. You've seen a full season of this character, of this actress or actor playing this character. So you can't really use that as an excuse anymore going into season 2. Which is why it's like, why are we?
You could have never been happy about season 1 though.
I don't even think the people that are doing this or commenting or doing the engagement bait shit have even seen the first season. I think a lot of them are probably just now catching up and like they finally like are watching it and seeing like, oh my god, this is what Ellie looks like. Like I feel like this is like new information for a lot of people and it's catching like wildfire because now they can give their opinion on it and they see like this I guess this mob of like haters coming through and they're just like attaching their opinions on it. It's like when you reignite an old conversation, you get a lot of new people that look at it and be like, oh yeah, she doesn't look like the girl in the game or this, that, and the third, right? And I'm not saying the first season wasn't successful. I just think it's a lot of new people that's entering this conversation that wasn't there before.
And that's also not a criticism that can go like it can. That's a conversation, a criticism that can stay a constant. Like she doesn't look like Ellie, and whether you
Pedro Pascal doesn't look like Joel.
What?
He looks.
I did
he
like
looks a lot.
He looks more like
no, he don't.
He looks more like Joel
than Bella Ramsey looks like.
But
Ellie.
He doesn't look like Joel. Joel's a white guy. Pedro Pascal is not white. So like, why isn't Pedro Pascal getting this heat?
Because he looks more like Joel than he does Ellie.
Because
there's a threshold of disbelief that the audience is able to like to suspend when it comes to how close a character needs closer actor needs to look to a character, and Pedro Pascal isn't within that threshold that people are willing to accept. Bella Ramsey is just slightly out of that threshold, and I think her performance helps her like get people to accept that, you know, this is the portrayal and this is the character. But it is something that is going to bother a lot of people who prefer their actors to look closer to the original character design.
And can I say one more thing, because I want to finish my earlier opinion, because I want people thinking that I just don't fuck with Bella Ramsey. I like at first I was saying she wasn't my Ellie. That is my Ellie at this point in time. Like Del was alluding to her performance, I think in that first season, just like it syncs so well, and it's so good with that with like the original game that I'm just like, okay, that's my girl, like that's who it is. And I think that should be more of the conversation. Like, does she capture the essence of the character, right? And I think Pedro Pascal does. He captures the essence of Joel just so well that it's perfect. Like it's crazy. But her looks, I believe, are so like
not Ellie.
It's not Ellie that like it's just going to be.
Tommy doesn't look like Tommy, and Tommy's in that clip too.
I know, but Ellie's like
Tommy looks nothing like
girl,
Tommy, and no one cares.
Ellie's the girl.
Tommy's not.
Ellie is the main character.
Tommy's not Tommy's not a crucial character. Yeah.
Yes, he
Ellie,
is.
Thank you.
He's
not a main character.
No, he's an important character.
He's not a main character,
especially this season.
But you
he's
can't
not a
compare
main
Tommy
character.
to Ellie. Ellie is like the heart and
because
soul
if we're doing
of, like,
the lookalike, if we're playing the
Joel.
lookalike game, if we're doing the lookalike game, and you want every actor to look exactly like every character in the game, that should apply to everything.
That's not what. No. I don't even really want to defend those people, but I don't think that's like.
I think reasonable.
I'm just saying.
One at a time,
like,
please.
You know,
Let's do one at a time.
I just think that there's a very blatant reason why Bella Ramsey is the one being targeted, and no one wants to say it.
I don't think that's true. I disagree with that.
Do I need to?
People don't find her conventionally attractive.
I agree.
That's not what I thought he was gonna say. Holy shit!
I just think that's all it is. Truly.
I think that's a part of it. I think that's a part of it. But I also think that there are reasonable audiences who are willing, like they understand that this is not like Last of Us is a fucking video game. They know that if they're gonna recreate it in live action, that they're not gonna be able to just find people that look exactly like these fictional characters, so they're willing to accept that some things aren't going to be one-to-one. For example, like I'm okay with like some of the side characters not looking perfectly like them as long as when I see the character, they behave like the character. But when they're talking to like the main characters, the characters that I'm gonna see 90% of the way, like 90% of the story, like them looking like the characters more than the side characters matters more. So I think it's reasonable for people to be okay with Tommy not looking like his character and Ellie, um, you know, her wanting her to look more like the original character. So I don't think it's I think that's a part of it though, Luis. I think Bella's Remedy specifically, like even if she looked different from Ellie, but she was still attractive, people probably would be more forgiving of it. But because and this is not have to do with my own personal opinions of how she looks. This is just like the conventional or like opinion on her. Um that's just what
Sorry,
society is
they
built off of.
they use they them pronouns.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you for that, Carl.
I think the whole situation is unfortunate. I don't like the dogpiling that's happening. I don't like the hater mob like mentality that's happening to Bella Ramsey right now. I think all of that shit is lame. I just felt like with some Twitter opinions, they can be a bit extreme. Like it's always like an extreme on one side or an extreme on the other. Like Joe was saying earlier, there are weird people that think that way, and it is a pattern within gaming, especially with casting in gaming and in movies. Like this is something that constantly happens. So I know that there are people there that are out there, and but I don't know. Those opinions kind of rub me the wrong way. Maybe me in particular, because I know at the beginning of like the whole process when we were seeing some of the trailers, when we were seeing the casting, I was like, damn, she don't really look like Ellie. Like I don't know how I feel about this, but I kind of softened up a bit when I watched like Game of Thrones and I saw like her appearance in that, and I'm like, okay, maybe I could see it a little bit here, like with her acting. Like I thought she was like, she was cool in that, and but yeah, maybe that's why like my whole opinion is a bit more adverse.
I just want to say two things real quick. One, I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. Your opinion and how you came around is not the majority. Like, it's not the majority.
You engaged with it in good faith.
Yeah, like you weren't like, that's why I said like you aren't one of the people that I'm talking about, because you weren't you were genuinely thinking from, you played The Last of Us, you played those games, and then like you're just like, all right, like seeing this, and like you said, this is when it first came out. You just seeing these clips, you're like, this doesn't really look like Ellie, but I mean, I guess I'll see when you watch it. And then you actually gave it a chance, and then you like you said, that's your Ellie now, because regardless of how she looks, she embodies the character for you. These people, regardless of like they have seen the first season or they haven't seen the first season, a lot of these people that are having these arguments are people that aren't going to watch the show regardless, because this Ellie is not attractive enough for them. And like, to go to my second point, and this is like kind of in the same realm but just different a little bit, and like how you brought up movie adaptations. One of the main things that I've been seeing regarding this Fantastic Four movie is Sue Storm. Niggas don't think she's attractive, and they've been like shitting on how much they don't think that she's attractive, saying Jessica Alba is so much better. Respectfully, Jessica Alba is also Hispanic or Latina. She's not a white woman. She had to dye her hair and get
Rachel. I think she's Mexican and white.
Exactly, and she hated it, but they don't care about that because they found her attractive.
She's fine as fuck. Like, I'm sorry.
This is my Sue Storm. I'm not saying that she's not attractive, but my point is they're only getting on. They don't know what the Sue Storm is gonna do. They're just mad about the fact that she doesn't look hot enough, and especially compared to another live action that we've already seen. So to me, it all like kind of accumulates into the same thing of like they just don't find her attractive, and like, I'm not gonna say it as bluntly as she did, because like you said, that is like the way that she worded it, or whoever put that on Twitter. I do think that is a bit extreme and it is weird, but like the point is still very true. They don't find Ellie attractive, so they have an issue with it, and therefore they just write it off completely. And that's the thing that like I agree with that, and I just think it's weird.
I think it's
I just can't. I think those group of people exist, but I really don't feel like that's the majority, especially when a lot of people that are watching it are coming from the games. Like, I think because like I am one of those people that still have an issue that she doesn't look like Ellie. Like, sure, I think her acting is great, but like, yeah, a part of me still wishes that she looked more like Ellie. And to me, it's just like, it's just because like I don't think it's comparable, because like Sue Storm is like, that's her thing, right? People look at her and they're like, oh yeah, she's hot. Like, oh, and this Sue Storm, this new one, she might not be, but like Ellie's a child. it's just harder for me to like see that most people would feel like that about a character playing a child. And I
You
think
just
that's what
learned the
brings
world
about
is full of sickos,
mature
buddy.
thinking. Maybe, but maybe
I mean,
not.
I think that's what's tough about these kind of conversations, especially on Twitter, and just like the bad faith rage bait posts that are on Twitter, because shit's not moderated. But like, how often have you seen, especially lately after shit like Stellar Blade came out, of like, oh, Western developer characters versus Eastern developer characters, and it's like literally like a child in a video game being compared to this like bubble butt, big titty, jiggle physics character, and they're like, this is why the East is winning. This is why Japan is winning. So it's like it's hard for me. It's hard for me to take these arguments in good faith, especially when we're entering season.
You've never seen that.
It's out there. It's out there a lot.
What I seen was Aloy. I've seen them use Aloy as a
It's
model.
Aloy. Now that South of Midnight was coming out, they did it with South of Midnight as well, which is good, by the way.
From Marvel Rivals, like they compared both of them. So basically, they said like, this is what Marvel Rivals doing well. Like this is what people want, and this is what.
And then you got fucking roach infested Asmongold going on Twitter on Twitch like. The Gooners, you gotta appeal to the Gooners. People want to jerk off while they play the game.
Yes, sir. We name dropping.
I didn't know his teeth. I didn't know his teeth was that fucked up.
I'm surprised he still has teeth. But anyways, that's besides the point. I think it's hard. It's hard to like. It's hard to engage with this kind of conversation in good faith because this is a show that we're entering its second season. If you have the opinion of you're not sure how to feel because she doesn't look like Ellie, there's an entire season of television you could go watch right now and form an opinion on whether or not you can look past the fact that they don't look like Ellie, right? The way that you did, the way that some of us in here did. So like the fact that we're still talking about this and season 2 is coming out
is crazy.
And that's it's telling me which side of the fence you're on.
Yeah.
Because we're only talking about it because it came back up.
I feel like that's not fair. I feel like you can be like, she's good enough to act. Like I accept this.
But that's a preference. At that point, it's a preference.
Yeah, but it's like I think you still be discontent. Like I still don't think she looks enough like Ellie, and that will always be a disconnect I have with this show.
And that's no one's articulating themselves like that on Twitter. That's the problem.
Yeah, so I was talking about like just I'm saying just a stance that I think is okay to take. I feel like I think that's
that is fine.
I think that's
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
We're not saying you got to be like,
that's why
yeah, she looks like Ellie now, or even say that like it's her acting is good enough for me to get past it. It's just the fact that you're saying the issue is, oh yeah, she's trash. She doesn't look anything like Ellie. Like it's just like the constant bashing and the way that you are bashing the person. It like the way I know these words are formed from like a version of attraction. You don't have that attraction, and that's what your core issue is, and that's why you're so like mad about this topic. Like how you and Tevin are saying it. Like I can listen to y'all because y'all are saying like y'all are actually just saying it. Like I like the show. I think she is good as Ellie. Well, just because you haven't watched it, but like just the devil's advocate that you're going for is like I like the show. I think she does do good as Ellie. I just don't think that she looks enough like Ellie. That's completely fine. But you like if I'm not even being funny. If you were up here being like, bruh, fuck her, she don't look shit like Ellie got, like that shit is just trash. Like I'd be like, Tev, what's going on? What's wrong? Like, what's wrong? Like, I would have to ask you, like, why do you feel this way so strongly? And if I don't feel like it's anything of good faith, I would then have to question your morality on the situation.
No, that pretty much sums it up.
Yep.